Well, Sweden and India have traditionally had wonderful relations. We're both thriving democracies. And over the years, the trade and business with Sweden has expanded quite well, but has huge scope to expand further. The Honorable Prime Minister of Sweden had visited India and was a partner country with India in the Make in India initiative. Honorable Minister Goyal was good enough to visit India last month. We had a very, very vibrant exchange. And I found in Minister Goyal a very sensitive leader looking with care and concern for India's development needs, as well as equal concern for sustainable development of the Indian economy. At his invitation, I thought it would be good for me to visit Sweden, interact with government and industry in Sweden, and see how we can take this partnership to the next level faster than it has in the past.
And I guess your focus is energy and sustainable energy and climate change.
Well, my first focus is to build upon this wonderful relationship and make sure that we work together in the years to come. And as a responsible global citizen, I think it's incumbent on India to partner with countries in Europe, the developed world, and work together towards a sustainable future, both for my people and for the world at large. In that sense, Sweden offers wonderful technology, Sweden offers low-cost financing, and Sweden also offers sensitivity to our development needs. Therefore, I believe we can work together and both ensure that we work for a better future to meet the aspirations of all Indians, but also work to make that sustainable, to make that efficient, and to care for the environment.
Would you like to give examples on what sustainable solutions you find most interesting?
Well, I'm very, very particularly keen to work with Sweden on waste to energy projects or processing waste to ensure that that does not add to the climate problems. I'm very keen to work with Sweden on electric mobility to see how electric vehicles can help us bring down pollution from vehicular usage. And then, of course, we're also looking at seeing what new technologies we can work together, be it in terms of smart metering, smart grids, better infrastructure on the electric utilities, better integration of renewable power into the national grid, ultimately with the large ambition that India has to expand renewable energy to 225 gigawatts by 2022. We'll need a lot of technological support to integrate that in the traditional grid.
Swedish industry has many competitors internationally. Why would India choose Swedish solutions?
Well, Sweden has always been at the cutting edge of modern technology. And I think Sweden has also shown a lot of sensitivity to India's development need and India's local conditions. So we have probably over 100 Swedish companies working in India, manufacturing in India for decades now. And we've had a very, very vibrant exchange between the two democracies over the years. The President came here last year, the Honorable Prime Minister visited India earlier this year. Then we had the Communications Minister. You have made rapid strides on mobile technology. My own visit this year. I believe together, Sweden and India can set a role model for the rest of the world in terms of a joint effort, both to meet the aspirations of 1 billion Indians, look for a better quality of life for our people, as well as work as partners to create a better world to live in.
I have a few questions on your climate policy as well. I know you are very much depending on coal. Is this still interesting when the price of renewables are falling?
Well, ma'am, the renewable energy always needs a base load. And without a base load, you can't inject renewable energy. I mean, I can't tell my people that I'll send you power from 7 in the morning to 5 in the evening, and in the night we go back to the Stone Age. So very clearly you need a base load. India is a developing and growing country. My own consumption of electricity is at the lowest. It's about 1,100 units per person, whereas most developed world is between 12 and 15,000 units per person. So I see the consumption of energy quadrupling 4 times in the next 15 to 18 years. And to meet that kind of quantity of energy, we'll certainly need to expand the base load and then integrate the renewables into that base load. So coal will play an important role, but India desires to use coal more efficiently, desires to go for clean coal, desires to bring in technologies to make sure that the emissions out of the coal that we consume is brought down, so that end of the day we meet our climate objectives of reducing the per capita or per unit of GDP intensity, carbon intensity by about 1/3.
So it doesn't matter if the price for renewables will fall even more, you wouldn't
No.
rethink?
It matters very much because my own objective is also to become 40% of my installed capacity to be renewables by 2030. On a personal note, I would like to see technologies get better, so that why 40? I would like to do more. If I can integrate greater quantities of renewables, I'm happy to do that. Because at the end of the day, it is sustainable power, and it is also my energy security. Because the wind and water and sun will always be there for me. So I would rather go in for renewables. It's in my national interest, even economic interest, to look at renewable energy in a big way.
But did I understand you right? You have so huge needs, so you need both coal and renewables.
That's right, because the base load, unless I have a 24/7 power available, I cannot meet the needs of the people. And renewable energy has still got a problem of intermittent availability. Solar in the day, wind usually early morning or in the evenings. Hydro, of course, has advantage, it can work through the day, but then not through the year, only in the monsoon months or when the ice is melting. So we still don't have a renewable source which provides 24/7 power.
In a few days, the COP22 is upcoming. I wonder, what are your expectations for this next meeting, this first meeting after the Paris meeting?
My expectation is that the government becomes a little more proactive in terms of supporting with technology, supporting with low-cost, long-tenor funding, two commitments that are an integral part of the Paris Agreement. And I do believe while we can engage with the private sector for technology, for financing, it's also incumbent that governments of the developed world participate in this as has been committed in Paris.